Next up on the call is head football coach Heishma Northern. Coach Northern and Prairie View fell in overtime to Alabama State 48-42. They'll host Mississippi Valley this Saturday, of course. Good morning, Coach Northern. Are you with us?
Yes, sir, I am.
Coach, if you could talk about the overtime loss to Alabama State and preview Mississippi Valley at home this week.
Well, went up, got off to a pretty good start on the game last week against Alabama State. Didn't take advantage of some opportunities that we had early in the ball game where we may had got a defensive turnover, we got to feel short sometimes due to some pretty good plays on special teams. But at the end of the day, we didn't make that one extra play to put us over the top. We finished with a +3 turnover margin, and we still didn't win the ball game. We got it once, I think, about the 20-yard line, and they stood up and held us to a field goal opportunity that we missed. And then we missed a field goal in overtime. But like I said, we had 13 penalties, 2 missed field goals, a couple overthrows on some passes that were, where we may have had a guy wide open. So we can't get those plays back, and that's, like I say, water under the bridge. But those guys, you got to take your hat off to Coach Barlow and his staff, and his second and third tier guys. Cyrus came in and had an outstanding ball game. Toppings came in and had an outstanding ball game for him. The defense stepped up and scored a touchdown. So that was big for them. But like I say, unfortunately for my guys, we couldn't get that one extra play to put us over the top. But we fought back, scored, went on a 95-yard scoring drive with about 3 minutes left in the game, scored with 20 seconds left, got to overtime, and couldn't really do anything with the ball. And they made a play. I actually thought they were just trying to set up for the field goal, and nobody on our defense tackled the guy, and lo and behold, he scores a touchdown. That's the ball game. So, we got to put that one behind us, whether it's good or bad. Put it behind us, and now we move on to Mississippi Valley. I think we had workouts this morning. We did some personal class checks to make sure our guys are in class and everyone was there for workouts and in class. So, we're still doing things the right way. We got homecoming, so, that's a whole different adventure for our guys to deal with. But as coaches, we have to keep our guys focused on the task at hand and sort of make sure that the old players don't come back to bite us in the butt, because usually that's our worst enemy around here when it comes to homecoming, the guys that used to play that now have disposable income. So I think we're going to be ready to play a tough Valley team. Coach Barlow and I were talking about it after our game, just how tough those guys are. We were talking about just the Mississippi kids in general. They play with a tough mentality. They play hard no matter what the score is, and Coach Morgan and Coach Graves do a good job with those guys on the defense side of the ball, and they're playing better on offense than people give them credit for. They do some things that can cause you problems if you're not fundamentally sound on the defense side of the ball. So, like I say, we got to get ready for a good football game here.
All right, the floor is now open for Prairie View head coach Heishma Northern.
Coach, how impressed are you about the composure of Lovelock? You're looking at that last drive to tie things up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you faced a fourth down and a third down, and he was able to complete some big passes and give you that score to tie the ball game and send it to extra frame.
Well, that's just the type of mentality that he had. He's a tough kid, from Baltimore, was a real good basketball player, made some big baskets for his basketball team, made some plays for his football team in high school, and nothing seems to rattle him. I was talking to him on the sideline, and then a few plays later after he had been stopped on maybe 2 or 3 plays in a row, and he's over there talking to the offensive line about, hey, guys, everybody stop and listen. And one guy sort of kept walking, and he did what leaders are supposed to: grab the guy and say, hey, man, we got to get this together. It's not on, the coaches. It's not on whatever. We got to make sure we are playing together and doing the small things right. And his composure is unbelievable. Nothing rattles him. But sometimes I do want to move a little bit faster in certain situations, but nothing rattles him. Whether he's hit, bleeding, or whatever, he still thinks that he's going to make the next play, and that's what I like about him. So he gives us a chance to win.
Floor is still open for Heishma Northern, head coach at Prairie View.
Coach, looking at your defense, do you feel like there's a few components missing in terms of, I think against Stephen F. Austin, you gave up 40 points, and this past weekend you give up another 40 points. Do you feel there's some components missing, or what are some of the areas emphasis in terms of improvement?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to concentrate on is our tackling. You know, guys are in position to make plays on quite a few occasions, and they're simply not making a tackle. But the dilemma that you get sort of stuck with is, you know, how much tackling do you do in practice, and then your injury rate goes up. We're already starting 3 freshmen in our secondary last game. So, you know, having those guys do a lot of tackling, some of the older guys that have been playing that hadn't been tackling, I don't think that gives you a greater chance of sort of improving. That's a thing of will. Also, you have to give credit to, I thought Alabama State's receivers did an outstanding job in blocking. We sort of knew once the third quarterback come in and he threw an interception, I think his first pass attempt over the middle of the field, that we were going to see a lot of screens and bubbles, and sure enough, that's what they went to, and some of our guys may have taken bad angles to get to the ball. So we have to correct those mistakes, but and then there's probably going to be some lineup changes. Some of our guys that we thought were, you know, going to sort of be our bell cows have not been that. So we'll play some more younger guys, and hopefully when they get a chance to play, we'll simplify our defense a little bit more. But whoever's in the game has to make tackles. That's the biggest challenge that we have, and take the right path to get to the football. That's the biggest thing that we have to deal with, just guys not making tackles when they're in a position to make a play.
How much did you know about Toppings, the third quarterback for Alabama State, before entering the game?
To be honest, I didn't know anything at all about him. But you know, I whenever we play teams, I sort of read the paper, and I got wind that Duhart may not play, and I showed that to our coaches. I went to our defensive meeting the other day, and I sort of told them, hey, this is their second quarterback that's going to start. There's probably going to be a lot more running the football. It's probably going to be a lot more screens and play action pass to give him some easy reads. And that's pretty much exactly what we got. But like I say, at the end of the day, we just didn't simply make tackles on quite a few of the long runs. I think that's the most disappointing part. We knew exactly what we were going to get and didn't stop it as a coaching staff and as players. But Toppings came in, and when he came in, I said, hey, this is what we're going to get, especially after he threw that first interception. I'm like, man, we're not going to see any vertical passes. Pretty much it's going to be, bubbles, screens, quick slants off play action, and that's exactly what we got. But he did an outstanding job. I found him after the game and made a point to go up and shake his hand and say, hey, that's a good job for you stepping up for your teammates. I also went and found Cyrus, I think is his last name, and went over and shook his hand and say, hey, man, that's how you step up for your team and for your coaches when things are not going well. Now, I got to find some guys over here at Prairie View to do the same thing, because we're down some guys. But, at the end of the day, fans don't care about that. All they want to see is that baby come. They're not worried about the labor. We just, we got to make sure we produce some babies around here, and we got to make some plays to get us some W's. That's what we have to do.
When Favor and Cyrus went down, and it's not that you're celebrating a player's injury, but did you think that, of course, you might be able to take, with your defensive struggles, you think that you might be able to take advantage with them going down the depth chart with their skill positions on offense in that half?
Well, I think the good thing about their offense and our offense is where it favors playing young quarterbacks, because it can be sort of simple, if you understand what I'm saying, because they only have maybe 1-2 read, run the ball, 1-2 read, run the ball. So, and I know Coach Kice very well. I've coached against him on several occasions, and they did a good job of putting that quarterback in a good position to make plays. 11 or 18 coming off the bench, third string, a true freshman, putting a guy in that situation and him going out there making plays. It's good for that coaching staff, but it's good for that young man that he could have easily been sitting back pouting about not getting a chance to play, and then when he got a chance to play, he made something happen. So, but we knew what we were going to get when he came in. It's just that we didn't execute from a tackling standpoint. If you go back and look at it, I think over 300 yards came after a missed tackle, and that's the most disappointing part about not winning that football game, because we had every opportunity to win it.
Coach Northern, we appreciate your time, and we look forward to talking with you after your game with Mississippi Valley this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.